All right, let's jump right in. The year is 2026, and if your business runs on SAP, you are staring down a massive strategic turning point. And believe me, the decision you make this year about your ERP system, it's going to define your business for the next decade. So let's break down exactly what your path forward looks like. Okay, so let's start with the single most important question you have to ask yourself. Is your system ready for what's coming next? And I'm not just talking about getting slightly faster reports. We are talking about generative AI, real-time automation, and predictive insights being baked into the very core of how you operate. This isn't some far-off futuristic question anymore. This is a right here, right now business imperative. This slide really just gets right to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? On one side, you have that legacy system of record. We've all been there. It's slow, it's siloed, and it's probably drowning in technical debt. On the other side, you have the AI-augmented digital core, agile, intelligent, and just built for innovation. The gap between these two worlds is getting wider every single day, and what we're going to do here is show you exactly how to get across. So, why now? What's forcing this decision? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. SAP has moved all of its most valuable innovations, especially its business AI, to the cloud. So if you want the best tools, you've got to move away from that traditional on-premise model. This puts you smack dab at a crossroads, where you have to pick a path. And that choice really boils down to three very distinct paths. Now, I want you to think of these as more than just technical options. They're really business philosophies. Are you trying to standardize your processes to be best in class? Or do you absolutely need the flexibility to protect all those unique, complex operations you've built? Your answer is going to lead you down one of these roads. This table is a great way to see the trade-offs at a glance. You can see right away, public cloud has the least customization, but you get those awesome automatic upgrades. On-premise, on the other hand, gives you maximum control, but man, it comes with a heavy capital cost. And then there's Rise with SAP, sitting right in the middle, offering a nice balance of both. Let's dig into each one. First up, we've got the public cloud. This is your true software as a service model. I like to call this path for the standardizers, companies that are ready to re-engineer their business to match world-class pre-configured processes. The huge plus here? It's got the lowest total cost of ownership, and you get the fastest access to innovation because SAP just pushes updates to you automatically. Next up is Rise with SAP, which I think of as the path for the modernizer. This is really designed for those large, complex companies that know they need to get to the cloud, but just can't abandon all their deeply embedded custom processes overnight. You get your own private cloud environment, full flexibility, and SAP handles all the underlying infrastructure. For a lot of big companies, it's truly the best of both worlds. And finally, we have the traditionalist path, keeping everything on-premise. Now, this gives you absolute control over everything. You own the servers, you own the data, you control the timeline. But here in 2026, that control comes at a really steep price. We're talking a high upfront cost, and maybe most importantly, you're going to miss out on all the cutting-edge, cloud-only business AI features that SAP is rolling out. And that's such a crucial point. This decision isn't just about features. It's a fundamental shift in how you even pay for your ERP. We're moving away from buying a product to subscribing to a service. Let's take a look at what that really means for your budget. The old world was all about buying named user licenses, one for every person. The new cloud world? It's built on something called full usage equivalents, or FUEs. The best way to think of it is like a flexible currency. You don't buy 500 fixed seats anymore. You buy a pool of FUEs, and you can flexibly assign them to power users, regular users, or even occasional users as your business needs change. And this example really shows how powerful that flexibility is. I mean, look at this calculation for a 500-person company. You've got your 75 advanced power users who use one FUE each. But then you have 150 core users who only consume a small fraction of an FUE. The result? A 500-person company doesn't need 500 licenses. They only need to buy 124 FUEs. That's a massive, massive efficiency gain. So when you finally look at the numbers, the story becomes crystal clear. Once you factor in all those hidden costs of on-premise, the hardware refreshes, the data center power, the specialized staff, it is by far the most expensive option over 5 years. The subscription models, especially public cloud, deliver a dramatically lower total cost of ownership. It's not even close. Okay, so we've covered the strategy and the cost, but why is S4HANA so much more powerful? To really get that, we need to pop the hood and look at how the entire engine of SAP has been rebuilt from the ground up. The old world of SAP ECC was this complex web of hundreds of different tables for finance, controlling, and assets. You had to run batch jobs every single night just to reconcile them. S4HANA replaces all of that with one beautiful, simple table called the Universal Journal. It's a single source of truth, which means reconciliation is dead, gone. And here's the proof. This slide shows just a few of the most notorious legacy tables that are now completely gone. Totals tables like GLT0? Deleted, because totals are now calculated instantly. Status tables like VBUK? Gone. This cleanup dramatically reduces your database size. We're often talking by 75%, and just makes the entire system faster and leaner. This simplification is what enables the single most important strategy for 2026, the clean core. This is a mandate. It's a promise to stop modifying SAP's standard code. Instead, you build all your unique stuff on an external platform. Why does this matter so much? Because a clean core means your upgrades are seamless, your costs are low, and your system is always ready for the next AI innovation. So the benefits are obvious. But there is one obstacle, one non-negotiable prerequisite that stops more S4HANA projects in their tracks than anything else. And I'm telling you, if you don't tackle this thing early, your project is going to fail. Let's be perfectly 100% clear on this. This system will literally block your conversion until this is done. Before you can even start the technical migration, every single customer and vendor records you have has to be cleaned, merged, and converted into this new data object called the business partner. This whole process is called Customer Vendor Integration, or CVI. And the crucial thing to understand is that this is not a technical task you can just hand off to IT. It is a business-led data quality and governance project. It means cleaning up years, sometimes decades, of messy, duplicated, and incomplete data. And honestly, it often takes longer than the technical migration itself. But it is absolutely manageable if you follow a clear process. It all starts months in advance with preparation and data cleansing right there in your old system. Then you configure the mapping rules, you run the technical synchronization to find and fix errors, and finally, and this is key, you establish new governance rules to keep your data clean forever. Okay, we have covered the strategy, the cost, the technology, and the biggest roadblock out there. Now let's bring it all together and give you a simple framework to help you make a clear decision for your business. I absolutely love this slide because it's such a simple decision-making tool. Look, if your main goal is to adopt standard world-class processes, public cloud is your path. If you absolutely have to protect that complex legacy code that gives you a competitive edge, then Rise Private Cloud was designed for you. And if absolute data control is your number one priority, no matter the cost, then you stick with on-premise. So, where do you start tomorrow morning? Here are 3 concrete actions. First, get your IT team to run the SAP readiness check. Find out exactly what custom code is going to break. Second, start a fit-to-standard analysis with your business units and challenge those old legacy processes. And third, and honestly most importantly, launch that CVI data quality audit today. Do not wait on this. And that brings us to the end. This journey to a modernized digital core, it can seem pretty daunting, but it is also an incredible opportunity. The real question isn't about overcoming the headaches of the past. It's about what you're going to build once you have that clean, intelligent, AI-ready foundation. So, what will you innovate first?